Uh, you can see my screen now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now let's say we have a list of 1:21. I'll say, okay, and I'll say I'll chop this into sublists of this. So basically, now I've got uh, 7 lists of three items each. Okay. Now if I say transpose, here I can get 3 lists of 7 items each. So this also, if I want to interview, if I kind of now transpose this again, what happens is each of the 7 lists I've managed to kind of weave it. So it's possible to sometimes do what we did, which is transpose, but insert item at index also is possible. Okay, so once you'll get a hang of how this works, you can probably decide what you really want to use. Okay, but
Can you show us an insert item at index? We haven't done that, right?
no, we've not done that. There are lots of
Okay.
things that way. I mean, you all will have to start exploring. Go to this thing, go to this list, check these different options. There are lots of nodes and functions available. Basically, I mean, lots of tools available.
Okay.
I mean, whatever we happen to need, I'll probably try to explain it. But the rest of it, I was trying to look for that link the other day, right? I mean, what I was getting at was like, if you go to your start page, on your start page itself, you look, do you see these things here?
Yeah.
Reference, there's a
Yeah.
getting started option, there's Dynamo Primer, Dynamo Dictionary. Now,
Okay.
if you go to Dynamo Primer, this is what I want you guys to look at. I mean, this Dynamo Primer is what I want you all to just go through once sometime. I mean, whenever I can, go through everything.
Yeah.
It'll give you an idea of the concepts as such. I mean, the basic concepts of Dynamo and Visual Programming. The other thing you all can look at is this Dynamo Dictionary. The Dynamo Dictionary has a list of all the nodes, like all the nodes that are there on in Dynamo here.
Okay.
All the nodes that we have here, all of that is, I mean, you have explanations and I think in some cases some basic ideas to how you can use it. Okay, gives you little demonstrations of how to use each of these nodes. So it'll be a good idea for you guys to just go and explore all of this and then figure out how you want to use the different nodes in your graph. We will definitely I will not be able to cover all of this and this and that because whatever I find is contextual to whatever we are doing, only those I will kind of be covering. Okay,
Okay.
so just
Yeah.
make sure you guys go and look at what was possible here so that it gives you a good idea of the various tools available.
Sure.
Okay. Then what was the other thing that that's it? And then I think the other thing that I saw on that start screen was I've never really. I mean, all this has come very recently. Okay, so I haven't myself looked at any of these. So please just look at it. I mean, you'll have to probably explore this yourselves. Even this video tutorials, I'm not sure what it is. Okay, they seem to have quite a lot of video tutorials. So if you will prefer these video tutorials, please go through these and look at these too. Okay, but here let us focus on, instead of trying to cover all the nodes, I want to see how we apply stuff here, and which is why we started with things like Jacob's project and things like that. And as Shivani told you all yesterday, what we would also like to do is see if we can start regular work here too. I mean, design and fabrication and things like that, to whatever extent we can slowly, because we still don't know when you guys are supposed to officially do all this stuff. Okay. Now let's get back to Mr. Rupesh's thing, or do you have anything else that we rather do? We'll get back to this. This or by this is this simpler version of it than the unmirrored one. This is the mirrored one, right? There is a difference between these two or no? No, they are the same. Rupesh, enlighten.
No, it's like the upper wave is different. That's it. If you take one module, in that one is going upwards, and another is like vertical, and in another image it's like mirror, complete mirror.
This is not mirrored, no? Okay, yeah, but this is
No,
these
this
two
is
are
not
the same.
mirrored.
These two images are the same, but this one
Which
is
one?
different. Yeah. No, it's all the same. Nothing is
No,
mirrored here.
actually, I think screen is stuck. Screen is stuck.
Whose screen? My screen?
Yeah, now I'm able to see.
Okay.
Yeah, this one is mirrored.
This is not mirrored. Oh, yeah, this is mirrored. Correct. Okay. This is mirrored. The other one was
Just
not
the
mirrored.
module is getting mirrored. The module is same. Just the module is getting mirrored over here, and on other one it's repeating one above other.
No, so basic. Who has made progress with this? Who has managed to get those curves one above the other? You still can't hear, is it?
Now we can.
Okay. So, what I was asking is, before I seem to have lost you all, is, did any of you try this and were you successful, or did you have any trouble with this? I seem to be leaving the meeting and getting into it again and again. Is it? Okay. Shall we just finish Rupesh's thing today, or do you all have any other suggestions? Can you all hear me?
We'll do it, Rupesh.
Okay, so we'll finish today. Okay, so what I want to look at this and see if we can finish this.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
what are you doing right now? I lost it completely.
Sorry?
What are we doing right now? I lost it. That first portion I didn't listen. Like, connect.
Okay, I mean, all that we're going to try to do now is try to finish this, Jacob.
Okay. That entire shape.
Yeah, we just finished this. It actually should not be difficult for us to finish it, but let's see how long it takes.
Okay.
So let's first, so if we got something like this, what's the first thing that we're going to do now? We'll try to create a series of curves like this. Okay. So for that, if you want to walk me through this, just let me know how we're going to do that. Okay. So first, again, I'm going to create points, point by coordinates. Now, if we're going to try to, let's say we're going to do just 3 points for each module. Okay, so if you're doing that, how shall we do it? X, how shall we calculate? We'll calculate we'll start from 0 dot dot. We'll put the number of item, what the spacing for each of these. That is, we'll say 3. Let's say what 0 dot dot. Let's say 10 dot dot. I'll say spacing. Okay, or module width. I'll say. Let's call that module width as MW. Okay, so let that be a slider. Can be a number slider. I'll call this module width. Okay, so here I'm now getting 10 points because module width is 1. Okay, let's assume module width is 1. But what we want to do is, if the module width is 1, we want the number of points to be module width. I am little confused already. So here I need to get the number of points should be divided module width into 3. Okay, and here I say module width into number. Is this looking right?
I didn't understand that
Sorry?
model. I didn't understand that code block.
Okay, what I'm trying to do here is, I don't think I got it right, but what are these terms? I think I might have written. What is all this? Okay. See, what I'm trying to figure out is now, like what we did the other day. I want to see if you've got a number of points. I want to create a kind of a formula that says that we need, if we have 2 modules, I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. Now, how do I do that? So let's say this first is this one specifies the number of points. Okay, so number of points is this, and this is the number of modules. No, spacing, module width. Okay, so now if we got a certain module width, whatever the module width, the spacing that is, we need to get module width should be the spacing from one point to the other, but we want another point in between, right? So we want module width divided by 2 should be the spacing, and number of points should be module width. It should be the number of points, number of modules. Let's see, module count. So if I want the module width to be 1, module width to be 1, module count to be 2, is this right? No, I'm getting something wrong. What is wrong? Module width should be, module width will end up being 1. The number of points should be into 2, is it? Am I getting this right? Yeah, that seems right. Sorry, I should say this 0 from 0 to 1.5 to 1. I just get 1 point. So I just get 1 module. So this is wrong. Into 4. 2, 3. What am I doing wrong, people? This seems right. So if the module width is 1, I should be actually getting 3 points. But why am I getting only 2 points? Okay, if module width is 1, then I have a problem. If module width is 2, I'm getting it right. If module width is 3, then it's these 3, these 3, these 3. So I'm goofing up somewhere. So where am I going wrong?
Is it n into 2 plus 1?
N into 2 plus 1. Yes, I think that is right. That seems right, right? Correct. Okay, so now here we seem to be getting this right. If it's 4, we're getting 8 points, 9 points. Yeah, we are ending at 4. So that is all. That's the goal. So if you want 5, we got 5 points. So right. So we got this thing for, let's say, one direction. That is in the horizontal direction. Let's say these are the points. Now in the vertical direction, what would you want it to be? Now module height, what will it be? Get back to this. Now the module height, we want this here. If you want this kind of thing here, we need for every module, we need 2 points, right? It's the same thing we need to do. Again, we need 3 points. 1, 2, 3. Right? because we're going to take every alternate thing, right? We need an alternate point here, and we're going to use these as the curves. Making sense?
Yes. Yeah.
So let's do that. So we kind of need to repeat this whole thing. So I'll say this one I'll call it module bit count, and this one we'll call this module height. This we'll call this module height count. So we're building up a structure here like this. Call this module. Okay, so now if we want 3 points, 3 modules, we got 0, 0.5, 1. So this seems right. So now what we're going to do, we're going to feed this into this. Now along the x-axis, we want this. Along the z-axis, we want this. Cross product, and this is what we got. So right now I'm just going to increase this to 5, and this also I'll make this about 4. So we got a slightly wider grid. Now what do we do? What's our next step?
Nobs curve.
Yeah, so for that, what do we do? We first have to get those points, no? Every alternate point.
Grouping.
No, we just need to.
Yeah. And that.
Take n.
Yes, take every nth item. Okay, so we take every nth item, and what do we need to worry about? First, we need to check whether we are dealing with rows or columns, right? So we're dealing with columns. So we can continue to deal with columns, but like we did yesterday, we'll just transpose this so that we're looking at rows. Okay, so now if I go by rows now I've got these rows. Okay, one row, second row, and things like that. But if we're gonna do what Rupesh had on his design, which was something like this, okay, we've got one curve here, and where's the next curve? This is the next row of points, right? But it's skipping this row of points and it's going to this. So we need to take every alternate curve for now. Got it? So we'll take every alternate curve. That is, we'll take this curve. So we'll drop every alternate row first. So let's first take every second item. I'll do only half of this today. I mean, because otherwise I think it'll just get repetitive. See if you guys can figure out how to do the other half. Okay. So now we got each of these curves here, but we need to offset one. Now we got this, something like this. Now what do we want to do? We want to kind of push these points up, every alternate point up. So that means we want to first get every alternate point. So here again we say take every nth item, list again 2, again offset 1, but this time lacing longest. So we got every alternate point. Oops. Is this what I wanted to do? No, I didn't want to offset this. I wanted this. I wanted the crest. Okay, so here we got every alternate point. Now Now what do we do? I mean, we need to also get the other points also, right? Here I'm going to say 1. These are the points. And then we need to kind of raise these by whatever we want. Sorry, raise which one? Yeah, these only, the earlier ones. So this one we wanted to raise, translate it. Translate by direction distance. Whatever issues translate by direction distance, or just I'll use the XYZ translate for now. When we're trying to complicate it a bit, we'll use direction distance. Okay, so for now I'll just say 3. And or we'll control this to being something less than, it can't be, it has to be, the height has to be less than this, right? It can't be more than this. It has to be less than this module height that gets specified. So let's ensure that this is the module height minus, for now I'll just say 1. This is that translation. Why did I say that? Because if I look at that image, I mean, this height should not go up. It should not hit this thing here. So it has to be always less than that, right? So that is why I just said module height less than 1. So I made it minus 1.
So what if we create like 2 lines at the same place, 2 curves at the same place with 2 different points, and we say that one point to rotate in like circular direction, half semicircular direction. So like
basically you want to use rotation angle, right?
Yeah, like so the origin will be from the top point, and the point where it is located, the curve is located, that will move in a vertical direction in circular pattern.
That can get a little complicated, I feel, Rupesh, right now. So we'll probably just we'll do that as extension of this thing. But for now, I think we should just probably just keep it a little simple. Maybe I'll discuss that separately later.
Okay.
I mean, right?
I thought that was pretty simple.
The rotation, is it? Right now, I want to just show how to create the geometry, the complete geometry of what we've got here, with the lines and things like that. I just want to finish that once, and then I thought we look at the different ideas that you had about the opening part, the actual opening, to make it a little more realistic with the rotation and maybe taking some an angle rather than just arbitrarily putting a direction, a distance. I thought that will involve a little more math.
You're making it in plan.
Sorry?
You're making it in a plan purpose right now, right? Like the opening, how it looks right now.
Yes, I just want
you're making it in a plan.
Create this geometry. Yes, not in plan. I mean, basically, we'll get the geometry not in plan, not only in plan. Like for example, this y direction now. We'll make this like say -3 or something. Okay, we just create this geometry to start with, is what I thought. Okay, and later we'll see. We'll look at how to create to get that logic the way you got it, basically. For now, let me just first create these curves here and create the geometry once. Create that surface the way you got. Make sense? Okay. So now let's say so now I've got these points translated here in 2 directions. Okay. Now what we're going to do, we're going to kind of transpose here like what we did yesterday. So we'll say let's create because we set out to start your project, right? So I want to just finish that exercise because I felt I'm deviating too much every time I start with this. Okay, so now we got this again transpose. Okay, and then we'll say flatten. This is, I'm not talking through this because it's the same as what we had done yesterday. Okay, and I seem to have some nulls because I think we got uneven lists. I'm just going to say list clean. We shouldn't have got those nulls if I'd done the calculations right. I don't think I've done it right initially. Okay, so here we kind of cleaned up these lists, and then we create this NURBS curve. Okay, so we got kind of NURBS curve. Now what do we need to do? I mean, I want to now create that kind of, I still have messed up somewhere. Now, I didn't intend those curves to go that high. I wanted it to be lower than the other curves, but still gone high. So where have I messed up? I've taken maximum height -1. I should take maximum height divided by 2 -1, is it? This seems a little more correct. And make this -1 also. It's not that steep. So now what was the other thing that we had? If you look at Rupesh's image, now basically we need one straight line here at this edge. And then we need to loft it to this curve. That is, we need a line that joins these points. Which are those points now? These are the points that we've used to get the curve. So now let's get the other points basically. So now these are the other points. Now there is a note that says line by best fit through points. Okay, I will just use this to create one line through each of these points, which is just passing by each of these points. Okay, now I know why I had a problem with that, with the height. Basically, we'll have to control the height to be kind of an even number. It can't be any arbitrary number. Like the module height count should be like an even number. Only then we can it probably works better. No, I think there's some other mistake. Or it should be. I think the +1 I need to get rid of. Yeah, this seems better. Okay, so now what we need to do here is we need to we got this curve here, these lines here, and we got these curves here. So what do we need to do? Now we need to create another list create basically. We got this, now I transpose. So what I would have got a grouping of a NURBS curve and a line. Now I say loft by cross section, and you got this thing. So this is one thing. The other curve that we've got can similarly be created by using this point, lofting this higher and down, and creating a loft between this curve and this curve. I would suggest you guys try to do this yourselves, because you can use the same lines, but you need to loft this point up like that and create that yourself to create the kind of pattern. Now the other thing that you can do for this, I mean, if you want to get what Rupesh had done on his design, which is he's got these kind of members, right? Now that one, I think we've already done this, right? From these two lines that we've got, we said point at parameter.
Yeah, we did this.
Yeah, we did that, and we created the solids and things like that, right?
So we have to divide.
Correct. So you got two lines. I mean, so now we did that for two lines. I think we didn't do it for the entire thing. So we'll do it for the entire thing if you want now. You can say point at parameter. Okay, we take all these things here. We say 0 dot dot 1 dot dot say number. Let's say for now simply we'll say 50. Do that, and then I should say cross product. Now we'll have groupings of each thing, each point basically here. What I'll need to do here is I don't want two like this. So I will transpose this, or before I can transpose the earlier thing itself. Or we can actually do this also. Then I say line by best fit 2 points, and we get these lines. Okay, so this kind of, and then how to create the solids out of this, I think you guys already know, right? Shall I leave this at this? I want you all to try this. I mean, I've given you almost everything that's required to create that entire pattern if you want to. Okay. Now what I can do now is I will probably leave this as it is, and maybe I can explore this. We can either now look at Rupesh's other suggestion of how to kind of manipulate the point instead of just moving it up. He was looking at a rotation. Okay, we could probably do something about that if required. What would you all want to do?
Sir.
Okay, the rotation bit, and the other thing is I need to know whether you guys figure out how to randomize these points.
Sir, but I have one doubt.
Sure.
Yeah.
Not doubt exactly. So the geometry what we have created is something rigid, right? So what I am telling is instead of that multiple curves, why can't we like create a point on the same that geometry translate plane, and kind of that NURB curve kind of attract towards that point whenever that point is moved across towards the line, like kind of point at.
Sorry. No, I didn't understand.
That NURB curve what we have created, that curve line, right? That would be a single line, like straight line. So whenever that curve is moved, that point is moved, that NURB curve is going to get attracted towards that point whenever that curve is moved accordingly.
Which is what is happening anyway. That is what is happening now.
Okay, what if like we move the points? That okay, yeah, sure.
The curve will, okay, so that will anyway happen. But right now the issue is that is not the point. Here we'll have to see how to computationally create. Right now, even now the points are driven only by those few point. I mean, the curve is driven by only these points. Where are they? Well, now the curve is driven only by these points. Okay, so it is only these points that this curve is driven by in any case, right? Okay, so we need to figure out what I want to know is, sorry, these points. Now, what I want to know is how do you can you come up here? I've just translated all the points by one standard dimension. Okay, I want to know if you all have figured out how to create translate these points by different different heights instead of this being I think what even curve like this. I want to know if you figure out how to do this with multiple heights. I would still want you to try this because if I keep showing you this, it's not going to work. I mean, you guys are not going to make any progress.
Like different height for different curves, like that.
Yes. I want you to be able to control the heights of each of these curves. I mean, in each row, and then the next step would be to control the height of each curve. First, control the heights of the curves in each row, and next would be control the heights of each curve in each module. Done?
Done.
Okay. So this, I'm going to wrap this up now. I'm going to probably just let Rupesh check with me as to how he wants to take his project forward. I'm not going to kind of continue too much unless there are doubts. Okay, so I'll probably just interact with Rupesh as to how to take this forward. Anybody else has their work that they want to talk about? Any other real-time project that I need to? Yeah.
I have a doubt. So what if can we get a existing model from one of our offices or wherever, and then import in Dynamo and do something computational to the facade? That can be a real-time project, right?
Yes. So but
I'll get a
what do you
project.
want to get? What do you want to get from? I mean, what kind of?
No, it's like Nagraj and Nagraj gave that leaf thing, and Rupesh got this curve thing. So I could also see something from, and get it, like basically imbibe it on a existing project. Like only maybe the
Yes.
one part.
I personally think, Shannon, it doesn't have to be a real project. It can be a hypothetical project also, as long as it has a real world application.
Yeah, but if it's real, it makes sense.
Fine.
Like,
Yeah, fine. Fine. Not an issue.
So I'll get a project
That's
by
not an issue.
tomorrow, sir, and I'll discuss with you then because I have a project in mind. So that's why.
Fine. I want you to also have an idea in mind as to what you want to do computationally.
Oh, okay, got it.
Okay, like here Rupesh already had an idea. Nagaraj already has an idea of what he wanted to do. Savita ma'am wanted to try some grill. Manjula ma'am has some ideas of something that she's got. But everybody needs to start doing something. I want you to start giving me some thought and then asking me how to do it. Okay, I think now with Rupesh's project as the basis, I think we kind of managed to use this as a to do.
Kind of have an idea of how to. Yeah.
Yes. So now if you guys can come up with something where I can, which forces me to introduce some other concepts to you all, that would be nice. Okay, but in most cases, as I've been saying from a long time, I think it is just 2 or 3 concepts that really drive most prevalent computational design approaches are kind of based on just 1 or 2 basic concepts. But you'll need to understand those concepts, and that's going to happen only if you'll work on this yourselves.
Okay, got it.
It's not very complicated, and hopefully already you all should not find lots of. When you look at some structures, you should be able to kind of break it down and figure out how you can go about doing it.
Like in terms of points, like how to get it, like come up with a formula, right? The
yes,
logic.
you have to come up with exactly. You have to figure out. You have to resolve how to break it down and see if you can figure out how to break it down into modules in some sense. And then, but even this project, in the beginning, I asked you to look at it as modules. You all still are looking at it as modules, but we'll have to computationally design it with lists in such a way that you look at everything together. All the modules are kind of being handled together, not one at a time.
Is it okay if I pitch in? This is Shivani here.
Yeah, Shivani, sure.
So what I was going to say is that also when we say think computationally, I feel like we also need to see if the project is complex enough, which will actually help us. So this is again a suggestion that I'm making. It's up to you at the end of the day, because real-time project is up, the selection is up to you. But like if we take the example of what we did last semester, whether it is with Hulimavu, I don't know if you remember the juror's comments, right? Like he had a lot of really good comments, and he was asking about how this is computational, what could we have done better, what are the things that, you know, so that actually gives you a very good idea of what a real-time project can be. So it can be even a issue that is currently going on, you know, you can take that up and then address it and say that this is something that I want to resolve.
That's
Done?
too much thinking.
No, it's not too much thinking, Shannon. Basically, it's not so much of a problem, really. I mean, it basically, if it's too simple, you wouldn't know what to do with it, right? If you want to keep it simple, but you'll have to apply something. It can be simple also, but not super simple.
I think I don't know if we need to like put simple and thinking to be the same thing. Like actually to make something simple, you need to think a lot. So I don't know if you can discount the thinking part.
No,
All I'm saying,
sure.
all I am suggesting is that it can't be a project that you could have done even without computation. There should be a benefit to doing it. So that means it must have some complexity. That is all I'm suggesting. It's a suggestion.
Ma'am, in terms of what I'm thinking, is very simple. As in, we just take one module and incorporate it into a existing building. Like we're not solving anything. It will work non-computationally also, but it's like points and grids. It's a new concept we learned. So it's just one module.
Okay. Shannon,
Bring it tomorrow, Shannon. We'll look at it.
Okay, Shannon, I'm your juror. Yeah, I think we can discuss this tomorrow. But again, I'm your juror and I'm going to ask you this question. Why did you do this computationally if you could have done it without? How will you answer me? Please think about it.
Okay.
Let's see what she's got, Shivani, first, and then we can probably.
We'll discuss then tomorrow.
We'll see what she's got, and then we'll look at it. Okay. Now.
Okay.
Here, how do we take? I mean, shall we stop this for now and ask, and you guys come up with something? I mean, develop this further and come up with ideas. Because I'm not very keen on just pushing this further without a context anymore.
Sir, let us
get
start with what we have did like till now in Dynamo, then we will take it further.
Yes. So what we will shift to is
manipulating.
We need to practice little with the Dynamo, whatever. Yeah.
You need to practice a lot more.
Commands and all,
Yeah,
recalling all of them and understanding the whole thing is little more time we need, I think.
You need a lot more time, Ekta, and you'll need to practice this a lot more, because otherwise there's no point in me just making this seem like a very complicated thing for you all. Okay, it is a simple concept, but unless you'll practice, it's going to feel very complicated. Okay, so you'll start doing that, and what we will try to start doing now, since Shivani is here, we'll probably start looking at doing something that's a little more related to design, fabrication, analytical software, and things like that. Okay, so we'll see if we can tie up stuff like that with little Dynamo exercises that are required here and there. Okay, but otherwise, I would still encourage each of you all to reach out and let me know as to what you want to do. And if I feel it warrants participation of the entire class, I'll probably get you all involved with it. I mean, while I'm looking at each of you all. Okay, but now these common sessions we'll probably try to Shivani, right? We'll probably try to start looking at design and things like that.
Yeah, I think we can focus on design.
Okay. Now, shall we start a design discussion now, or do you want to just to recap and things like that? Do you think you want to just make a presentation?
You're talking to me, Vikram?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine.
To kind of restart
Okay,
design, I mean, do you just want to kind of prime them?
Yes. So you all of you are clear with the previous session with Vikram, right? So we are moving on to the next. Is that okay?
I think they are in agreement that we should not be continuing much more of this, Shivani. That, if I'm not wrong, majority of them say that.
Okay, sounds good. So what I'll do is, I think I had made one presentation. This seems like so long ago. So I'm just going to recap this presentation that we had made on how to organize information. If you guys remember.
Wait. I just saw a message that says they have Cynthia's class, but I thought you said Tuesday, Thursday.
It's changed to Tuesday, Wednesday, because she has BR classes on Thursday.
Yeah.
Fine. So you have a
Guys,
class.
let us know.
No.
You should tell us.
No, we came to
Yeah,
know
we thought.
Huh?
We thought.
we didn't know you didn't know about it. We
I
came to
know
know
you.
yesterday night
Okay, fine.
about it. Yeah.
Okay, it's okay. I mean, fine. So,
Okay, cool.
fine. Then 20 minutes.
That's fine. So
No.
when is your
No. It's every Tuesday and Wednesday.
It's every Tuesday.
Okay, got it. So, got it. Okay, fine. So
okay,
basically
so you have
Monday.
20 minutes.
Yeah, 20 minutes. You want to do something, or do you want me to just continue?
I don't know if we want to do it half and half.
No, I think whatever you do should be at one stretch.
Yeah.
I don't think 20 minutes. Then does it make sense?
So,
Or start if you want. Start, Shivani. It's okay.
but okay. Okay, fine.
You're not keen. Let me know. I'll continue with something.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see. I think you are still in presenting mode, Vikram.
Yeah, I'll get out of that. Go on.
Yeah.
How do I get out of this presenting? Stop presenting. Yeah, done.
Okay. So let me do this.
Okay, this is just a 15-minute recap.
Are you guys able to see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. I don't know if, I think you might remember this. This was long ago. There were a few, I think, who were missing in the class when I did this presentation. So I'm just going to run through this quickly. I'll share this with you, but I'll run through this quickly because whatever small assignments we've come up with are closely linked to this. So I can't see the screen where you guys are typing on the chat window. So if I stop in middle or if you have any questions, just please speak, okay? Don't chat, because if you chat and type, I can't see it. Okay, so I think this was a presentation that I had made on information design and how this is very closely linked to what we are doing throughout the semester, this semester for the design project. So this was about the three things, which is information design, sensorial design, and interface design. And then to figure out at the core of what we are doing is this idea of presenting information. So some basic definitions, I think we had asked, like we had this interaction the last time asking, what do you think the definition means? Is there a difference between information, interaction, and sensorial design? Do you guys remember this conversation? Yes, no? Nothing?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, sorry, I was typing.
Is that Shani?
No, that's Sneha, now it's me.
Okay. So So you guys remember this concept?
We do remember. Yeah, ma'am.
Okay.
I remember at least.
Okay. Okay. So if you remember, like basically this was the idea to show you like what is the difference between information, communication, and emotion. So when you say interaction design, what are the examples? You've got websites, you've got basically things that you do online, right? And there you're trying to communicate something. So that would fall under the subheading of interaction design. Then you've got sensorial design. Sensorial design is basically where all your senses are kind of being engaged. So you could look at it from the perspective of music, movies, or theater, where you're actually in it, right? And the core of it is that you're emotionally getting connected to something. And finally, it's information design, which is basically data or content that you're trying to convey to somebody, which is what we are all doing, right? And at the heart of all of this is content. And without content, you can't really do either of these. Not either, but neither of these. So then we go into the information organization methods. How do you arrange information? So this is one thing that I had shared with you guys. This architect whose name is Richard Saul Wurman. He is the father of information architecture actually, and he is the one who came up with this visual hats rack. So the idea is to say using hats as metaphors for organizing information. So you know, how do you organize something? Do you, if somebody is checking into a hotel or they're checking into an opera and they come in with their hat, how do you group it? You know, you could arrange the hats based on the time that they arrive. You could arrange them based on the color. You could arrange them based on you know, the origin of the hat. So there are different ways in which you organize. And obviously
you gave an example of the slippers arranged in temples also. Was it with this? Okay, got it. So
you remember?
Yeah, I remember.
Yes.
So basically, how we are arranging information,
good,
right?
Yes. And then we are saying that how do you choose what sort of a rack to create, right? Think of the situations. Basically, if you are what method to use and how to use. So if you are going to a grocery shop, how would you organize, you know, your groceries? Like, how do they put up things? Do they put biscuits on the lower rack and chocolates on the lower rack? Do they put the heavy things like oil on the lowermost rack? So there might be different criteria. How do you pick the criteria? And based on that, how do you organize? And then we also said, we had this discussion about how this sorting of the books in a bookshelf is also something which is very closely linked to how we decide what information we want to see, right? So based on the information you want, you decide what criteria you would like to apply to arrange something or organize something. So I'm going to stop here because I just want to know if people remember any of this, or does this all seem new?
We do.
You did.
We remember.
Okay, you do remember. Okay, good. So going back to the presentation, then we said, you know, no matter what you say, finally, at the end of the day, there are only 5 ways in which any information can be organized. One is by alphabet, one is by location, one is by time, by magnitude, which is basically the size, and the other is by category. So these are the only 5 ways in which you can organize any information that you want. So then we said, what are the examples?
What does color come
yes, Shannon.
under? What does color come under? You can categorize the color.
You can put it as a category.
So color
can be a category.
Okay. Color.
So say for example, if you go on Amazon, right, and you want to shop something, or even if you go for a clothing website and you want to pick something, first you say by size, that's a category. then you say by color, then you say by
cost.
print, like you want to have a printed, printed or not. So, what is that? That's a category.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Location is
So then
yes,
you got,
maps.
yeah, so location, you got examples like maps, relationships and connections. So time is, you've got your bus schedule or your train schedule, and like basically like historic timelines. So say for example, if you're going to get driving directions from Google, right? It will tell you like this is the time that you're going to take to reach this location. Or if you're giving cooking instructions, you say that you're going to cook this for this much amount of time. Then you've got organization by alphabet, right? So I'm going a little fast, but I will share this with you guys again. Then you've got this thing by magnitude. So magnitude is basically the rating. It's a comparative scale. So just like in Amazon, you've got 5-star rating, you've got 4-star rating, you've got 3-star rating, or you've got to like say who's the best bowler or the best batsman in the cricket team, then you've got a rating. So that's basically a comparative analysis or presentation of information, which is what magnitude or continuum is. And category is grouping things which are similar to each other. So it could be by color or it could be by print. Yeah. And almost all organizations are actually nested, right? You won't have only one kind of way in which they're organized. You'll have multiple ways in which they are nested, organized. So I think for this, we gave the example of trying to book your train tickets or your plane ticket. So what do? You first pick a location, then you pick the cost, then you pick the time you want to reach there by, right? So there are multiple criteria that you are kind of nesting one within the other. Then we come to the information systems, types and methods. So you've got information system types, which are maps, diagrams, charts, lists, and timelines. Then we said, what are the methods, right? One is by observing patterns. The other is by relationship, connection, and adjacency. Now, each one of this is kind of described here. So if your relationship, if you're looking at it in terms of relationships, right? The examples are maps, timelines, and charts. So you, in a map, you're always kind of saying what is the relationship between this and this. You're kind of trying to say there's a connection between the two, which is what you're trying to emphasize. And that is pretty much what we are saying here. And you see that maps appears everywhere. With the help of a map, you can tell an adjacency, you can tell a pattern, you can tell a connection. With the help of a timeline, you can do relationships, you can do adjacencies, patterns, and connection. Let me know if you want me to stop somewhere. Huh? Hello, is anybody there?
Just continue, Shivani. You've got only a few minutes left in any case.
Okay, fine. Okay, you know what? I think I'm going to stop here because I feel like I'm just rushing through things. So what I'll do is I'll come back to it tomorrow. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. You guys have to go to the other class now, right? So you guys go ahead. We'll continue this tomorrow because I feel like I'm just rushing through it.
Okay. Hi.
Tomorrow, shall we start with this at 3 o'clock rather than Dynamo and stuff like that?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Shivani, we'll start with this at 3 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah, because I was thinking like if we could actually introduce the first, like, I don't want to call it a time problem, but like the first thing activity kind of, they could have gotten started with it, but it's okay. We'll get, because you will have at least tomorrow morning to kind of look at it, no, like what to do.
Okay, but I don't think we have the time right now. We just have about, you have 6 minutes, I think. 4:15 seems to be the class,
Cool.
the next class.
So fine. So
Or should I just call up Cynthia and ask her to start by 4:30 or something?
It's okay, Vikram. That's the usual class that they're having, right? So let
Okay,
them go
fine.
ahead and have it.
Fine. Okay.
This is not even like, this is just we're doing it, right? So let it, if it is an official class, we could have requested, but let
Okay,
her
fine.
do her
Yeah.
class.
Okay,
Okay.
fine.
Okay, then I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye.
You guys all sign
Bye.
out. I'm going to wait for everybody to log out before I log out. Hopefully, I'll get the recording this time.
No, I didn't log out the other day first, last, and I got the recording.
I know. I think it just goes randomly. I don't think there's any order to it. But this was Savita ma'am's suggestion, so let's see. Okay, bye.
Bye, sir.
See you all tomorrow. Oh, Sai Kiran and Jacob, log out.
Oh, I didn't say. I forgot.
Log out, I said. Useless fellows. I'm waiting so that hopefully I get the recording this time. It's going different
Yes,
people
yes.
also.
Logging out.
What Sai Kiran was asleep here or what?
Yes, sir. Hello.